proper preparation prevents poor performance. So always prepare. We all need to have the 3 B's in life, which is balance, breaks, and boundaries.
Welcome back, everyone, to a new episode of Say Africa, the place to discover African success stories right here in the UAE. Now, personally, I'm always curious about people's personal journey of success. Now, if you want to turn your passion into profit and make a living from what you love to do, then today's episode really is for you. My guest found a way to make money from her passion for travel. She's now a serial entrepreneur running a travel business, a consultancy firm, and also a travel influencer. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But what if I told you that before she realized this dream, she was on the streets and couldn't even land a cleaning job? From very humble beginnings to breaking interesting barriers in Dubai, which we will uncover today, I would like to welcome Gift Preye Solomon, also known as GPS, to the Say Africa podcast. Welcome, Gift.
Thank you so much for having me. Hearing my story like that makes me want to actually tell. But yeah, thank you for having me. I'm honored.
Gift, it's amazing how from such a humble start, I mean, you left Nigeria thinking that you were coming to the UAE to find a job, but you only realized that there was actually no job. Before we actually dive into that, take us back to growing up in Nigeria. Tell us what that was like. What was the early years of growing up in Nigeria like?
Okay, sure. Well, my name is Gift, like she already said, Preye Solomon, aka GPS. I like to call myself that. I was born in Nigeria, Ondo State precisely. I'm from Ondo State, but I was born in Benin. Those of us that knows Nigeria very well. I was born in somewhere called Ologbo. It's pretty much like the outskirts of Benin, so you can relate. Well, I was born into a family of 6. I wasn't born into a very comfortable family. I was born into an average family. I wouldn't say average, because an average is actually a family that can actually provide for at least the basic need of their children. But for us, that wasn't the case, because my parents were always struggling to make sure we get food on our table and everything was going okay. So yeah, so looking back on my journey, how I came to the UAE before I came, Nigeria is somewhere that it's an amazing country, by the way, contrary to what a lot of people think or what we see online. It's a country where I'll use this line, before you chop, you need to work.
What does that mean?
It means before you eat, you need to actually work.
Okay.
Okay, so my parents, they were timber contractors, the people that usually get the construction woods you use for houses. So that job takes them out of town a lot. So
Both parents?
Both parents,
okay.
Yeah. So they were working together, and most times they would always go to the outskirts of town just to make sure they get, because the forest, right,
Okay.
to get the woods. So in most cases, I would always be left home with my immediate elder brother, Glory.
So your parents would leave and leave the children alone,
Yes.
so you and your siblings?
Yes.
Okay.
So most of the time, and before then, most of my siblings, my older brothers, they were somewhere else, maybe with our uncle.
Okay.
But then in our house, it was just myself and my immediate elder brother. We didn't have the younger ones then. It will always be cases where a lot of people, they say, oh, they grew up. I have an amazing parent, but the fun fact is, I can call it fun fact now because everything that I went through structured me into being the woman that I am today, is I didn't grow up with my parents all the time. Most times they were almost not there. I started enjoying the love of having family together just when we were like, I would say like 17 thereabouts. When I was younger, my parents were not always there. So this exposed myself and my brother to a very rough start in life. I'm talking, when I mean rough where at a very early age we need to work in construction sites, and all because we want to put food on our table. So it's a very long journey, and I hope we get enough time to actually touch base and let you guys know, because whatever you're going through right now, I've been there. I am a result of love and God's grace. So, yeah.
Perhaps share with us some of your most memorable moments of growing up, amongst the chaos, amongst the struggle. What are some of the most memorable moments?
Now I would say it's my favorite story to tell. That would be when my parents left us at some point, myself and my brother, and because we were hopping from one relative to another. This month we are in our uncle's house, and the next month we're in a different, maybe my mom's friend's house. So one time, it was somewhere, I think, when I was 15, thereabouts, maybe 15, 11, towards that age, I can't really picture. It was when, of course, people that have been trying to take care of us, they couldn't do anything because they have their own kids. Mm-hmm. And over time, they got tired. So they're like, they're going to take us back to the village. So they called my uncle, and my uncle actually took us back to the village to meet my mom's parents, a grandparent. And then for me now, looking back, I can tell you that I know how to cultivate cassava, grow plants, do a lot of things, all thanks to those years that we were in the village for, because they were farmers.
Right.
To their level, they were doing okay, but then for us, we used to live in the city, and then coming back to the village to help our grandparents cultivate and then work in the farm was something challenging and different for us. But over time, we got used to it. Most times we'd be in the room, myself and my brother. I like to reminisce on that part sometimes when I feel like I'm doing great. I'm like, Gift, this used to be you. Sometimes we'll go to the farm. We'll get cassava flakes. It's called gari in Nigeria. Whenever we're going to the farm and our parent tells us, Gift, you guys are having lunch today, we're very happy. And the lunch is gari and nuts. So we are very happy. We were contented at that time, but that doesn't mean everything was okay. We had the struggles. Most time we'll sing the song. It's like, if you see my, we remixed it. It's like, if you see my mama, Ozaina, tell her, say, oh, Ozaina, I day for village. So it's like, we always sing that. It's like, for people, it got to a point where our grandmom should be like, Gift, what are you singing? Are we suffering, you guys? But for us, it's a way of us connecting. Okay. It's our saddest time and also our happiest time, myself and my brother. But yeah, we went through a lot in the village. And
were you going to school?
No, there was no school in the village. We weren't going to school then. Because before we left the city, it wasn't even the city, but the city as at that time.
Incomparable to the real village.
Yes. Before we left, we dropped out of school a long time ago because obviously our parents wasn't there. And when we got to the village, they promised us that we were going to go to school. Well, we couldn't because traveling from the village to where there is school, it's like hours. And
tell me, how old are you at this stage when you were living in the village?
About 14, 15, yeah.
14, 15. So at this age, which is prime time of a student's life, you weren't going to school. Was this common practice in the village? Were there lots of other kids also not going to school?
No, really, because most of the people there is either they are visiting or they're just there, they know they're not going to school at all. But most of all, when we came the first time, we used to be the kid everyone wants to reckon with, they want to be friends with. But first week passed, they thought we were visiting. The second week passed, they thought, oh, they're still here. But over a month, we became the village kids. So everybody was just like, oh, we're not going to school. Not going to school was normal because everybody goes to the farm or either young people or married. So.
Right. And how long did you stay in the village, or what was life like thereafter?
We were there for about 8 months, and that 8 months was, initially it was fun and great, but over time we started to feel uncomfortable because people started not treating us nice. Initially they would always, Gift, Glory, you take this. But over time we became a typical village kid where a lot of people, they don't give us favors anymore, even our grandparents. The workload increased, obviously, because we do a lot. On one fateful day, I was in the kitchen frying gari. It's like cassava frying. And I saw someone that looked like my mom. She was coming. And before then, myself and my brother, we already planned when our parent comes back, we will not say hello to them. Because we were really upset with them, angry with them. So I saw someone come and I was like, that's my mom. I was so serious. I was boiling. I was frying my gari so hard. I'm like, I ignored her. Oh, I checked. My brother that we planned together is already embracing. He's already embracing and then happy. I'm like, I will not say hello because for me, I'm very close with my mom, and I felt betrayed when she left us. They usually go, but all of a sudden they left without communications.
Okay.
The court. So when she came, she's like, "Oh, Gift, you don't want to say hello to me?" And my grandfather was like, "Why would she say hello to you? You left them for so long." So they started quarreling. And I felt bad for a minute because I instigated the fight. But then I was like, yes, she should. But over time, she got talking and she explained.
Okay.
I understood that my dad lost his toenails all because of the work. Where we used to stay then got burnt. They started sharing their own story because obviously they've gone through a lot. That was why they had the mind to abandon us in the village. But yeah, that was where the story continued.
So when she came, was she coming to then take you back home?
Yes.
Okay.
She came to take us back. I was sad and happy because we were going to leave the village, obviously, and then go back to school because it got to the stage where it was embarrassing for us to everybody, like, the only people we go with are like old people and farmers. So after some days, she took us back to the same city. This time, not the same city. It was somewhere else.
Okay.
We were happy when we were going. Oh, my dad didn't come. And when we got to the place, it was my uncle's house because apparently my uncle was working. He was teaching in one of the schools in the community. There, not even a city this time, the community, and we were supposed to go live with him to go to school. But the house was just a one-bedroom. Like, a studio is too fancy. Just a one room with the toilet outside. And in Nigeria, Nigerians in the here watching, they understand when we mean a room and the washroom and toilet is outside. And that day I was like, oh, how are we going to stay with my uncle, my mom, my dad, and myself and my brother in one room? What happened? We started, but the only joy for us was my uncle was teaching in the school, and we would go to school. So that was when we started schooling. And we thought things was getting better, and then the deep came again. My parents left. Back to where
work.
They were, because they couldn't live with us, because if they live with us, they would not be able to work. So over time, we became the kid without the love or presence of, back then, maybe now, I can say that I know they love us. But back then, we assumed that we didn't have the love of our parents and also their presence. So that really played a major role. My brother was always so supportive.
Tell me, what do you think your parents would have done to make a difference or to make you understand that they love you even though they have to, leave you for a considerable amount of time with somebody else?
I think communication would have helped.
Okay.
Communication would have helped. But over time, we realized that there was no means of communication. Just when you think you're going through this, people are actually going through worse. When we had everything put together, what they go through, where they stay, circumstances that met them, we were like, okay, mommy is fine.
Okay.
And after that time, they never kept always trying to reach out because they knew that the communication was a barrier back then. Because even if we heard from them, at least we would know our parents are safe somewhere and they care about us. So yeah, so over time we were staying there in that community. We started going to school, and I got to a stage where I felt school is not really for you, because it kept getting harder.
Okay.
My parents got to a stage, a couple of years they were always there sending my brother through school and myself. But when it got to my turn, things changed again. I feel like my life has actually been a roller coaster, When you start looking up, it comes back down. So I was like, you know what, Mom, Dad, I'm sorry, but I think I need to leave, maybe do something. It wasn't as easy as I'm saying it right now because, in as much as they were not present, my parents were strict. When they're there, they're there. And an average African parent doesn't allow their kids to just wander off, go somewhere else without a family outside. And to be honest, Dubai wasn't the place I wanted to come. Okay. It was just the fastest visa to get and the easiest. So I told my parents I wanted to leave. I wanted to come to Dubai. I had to lie, obviously, because the lie was I had to tell them I had a job. I had someone that already helped me get a job here. So when I come, I'm going to start working. I have friends here and all that. But because I already lied, I started looking for opportunities to make sure that was true.
Okay.
I started looking for people to help me get a job before I come.
Okay.
That was the only reason they allowed me to leave the house in the first place. And I dropped out of school, obviously, because they couldn't afford my tuition. And yeah.
How old are you at this time when you dropped out?
I was 21.
21.
21.
And how did you hear about Dubai?
It's funny, because to be honest, I didn't really, then Dubai was like a place, a vacation place. Everybody they only saw the fancy. I didn't really see much or know much about Dubai. Someone just told me, oh, how about Dubai? Like, Dubai where? I started googling and checking. They're like, Dubai is good. I didn't even do my research. I didn't know, honest, looking back, if I said I knew something about Dubai or I fantasized about, no, I didn't. I didn't even have the time.
Okay.
So I just saw the opportunity, and the opportunity came. I'm like, you know what? Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so you're 16 years old. You realize that, you know what, the school thing is really not working out for me. I want out, and I want to potentially leave Nigeria. You hear about Dubai, you do a bit of research, you go tell your parents. In fact, what you tell them is that I've actually found a job. I'm going to go out there and make a living out of myself. Walk me through finding that opportunity and then finally arriving in Dubai.
So yes, so when I heard about Dubai, obviously because of the visa, it was easy to get, and my friend that told me about it was like, okay, you can go to Dubai, get a job. There are high-paying jobs and all that. First, it came from me traveling, came from a desperate position because I was eager to do anything to leave the country. And getting the opportunity was one thing. Looking for the money to travel was another thing.
Because there's a lot to prepare for. You need to get not just your passport, the ticket, the visa.
Yes, I didn't have a passport then. I started looking for money. I told my parents, obviously, they borrowed from different sources. I got a friend that the sister works in a microfinance bank. Okay. And she was working with a church. And then I asked her, please, can I get a loan? How much? 40,000 naira. I still remember. And now it's like 40,000 naira is nothing. Maybe you go for lunch and it's gone. But then 40,000 naira was a lot of money. Okay. So she helped. And I had a friend back then who also helped me with some money. I got tickets and I came to Dubai. I was coming to look for greener pastures. Okay. Yeah. But before now, a lot of us actually have a picture in our head. We feel like when we leave, but first I would like to say, if you're an individual, you left your own country to another country, it's a life hack. Because it's a big step to take. Absolutely. But however, your problem doesn't stop there. Yeah. If to say, it's just getting started. For me, when I left Nigeria, I felt like, oh, life is great. I'm going to start sending money back home the first few months. You've
left your problems back home.
That was what I thought. And the thing was, I actually got in touch with an agent that told me, obviously, there was a job. I paid, did everything I had to do, and come in. Arrive in Dubai was like, I used Kenya Airways. Yes.
Oh, pride of Africa.
Yeah. And then I went to Kenya, you saw me, I was dressed. I think I need to show a picture of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I came, I was like, oh, great. And I came into Dubai with just $300 because after paying all the bills and everything, I had just $300 with me.
Tell me, what time of month was it that you arrived? I'm just trying to envision the season.
I think arriving was somewhere in November.
Okay, so the cooler months.
The cooler months,
was
okay. Really cool.
Now, once you touched down in Dubai and got into the airport, what was that feeling like?
Felt great. It really felt great. In my mind, Gift, you can breathe now. You've arrived. Literally, I thought I've arrived. Right. So when I got down, I had $300 with me. When I got to the airport, I called the person that was supposed to pick me up. I'm in Dubai, and he's like, oh, okay, go outside, take a taxi. I was like, okay, I didn't know. I took a taxi, I entered. There was a guy with a big, taxis. Mm-hmm. And he told me, where are you going? He said, Sharjah. I don't know anyway. I don't know if Sharjah was a different Emirates or not. Right. So I just opted in and I started going. We were going, the meter was reading, because it's a taxi and I'm traveling, I didn't know about the meter even. I didn't know it was reading my money. So when I got down, the guy told me how much. And first the guy's like, don't cross to Sarah, the other side. Just stop at the boundary. I'm gonna come pick you up. I said, okay. I got there. The guy was like, how much? I said, how much in dollars? I'm not sure. I think it amounted to somewhere around maybe 60 or I think $60 or more. And then I'm like, how can a girl that brought $300 to survive and paying almost this much to? I was like almost arguing, but then I didn't. I just went on. I'm okay. I came down. In my mind, Gift, you're in Dubai. Next week you start working and everything will be good. So he came, picked me up. I went to the house. First things first was, I was a bit disappointed because the Dubai I saw on the pictures was different from Sharjah. And we got to the room. It was just a one-bedroom and my bed was on the floor. First, everything was already changing. Because even when I was in Nigeria, things were bad, yes, but at least before I left, we got to the stage where at least I still had the room. Things was picking up and getting better before the down again. So I already had a taste of having a room.
Right.
So when I got there, we were like 4, and the guy was occupying the room, and 3 of us were in the living room. And the living room, we have to fold the bed in the morning. I did behind the curtain. So that brought me down, and I'm like, I was paying 1,000 dirhams for the place. I actually had to pay when I came to Dubai with my $300. That was my plan because they said I needed the BTA to show at the airport that I have money coming to Dubai. So I planned like, okay, my rent is going to be the money I'll show, and when I come, I'll pay my rent. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, I started thinking about home. Oh, am I sure if this is the right? And the outside wasn't giving me the Dubai vibes. Things were just, I was like, okay, no problem. I'll start work next week and I'll be good. Next week came, I asked, how far, when am I starting work? They're like, no, you need to go to Dera to make CVs. I'm like, I thought I already have a job. They said, no, actually the job we kept for you is already gone. You need to start looking for a job. So the story started again. I started looking for a job. And I searched for a job for over 6 months. And those 6 months were like the worst month of my life because you know what I felt like I was going through in Nigeria. At least I still had someone, my family, people always giving answer. But Dubai,
back home,
is different. I came to a country where I didn't have a family, I didn't have a friend, no one. The only people that I had that were friends with were the people that were supposed to help me. And over time, got to a stage where now I wonder how I still managed to eat noodles, you know, because noodles was one of the best, like only thing I eat. We go to the Union Cup, they always have sales, and then every time noodles, noodles, noodles. And most times I'll have interviews in Dubai. I can afford to come because, of course, there's no transport.
Right.
And Sharjah, I realized then that Sharjah was a different Emirates and Dubai is a different state as well. So it went on like that for 6 months.
But Gift, tell me, by this stage, you've realized that obviously this person that told you that there was a job gave you a very different expectation, correct? So you arrive here and you realize actually even the living conditions that you're in are far worse than what you've left behind because it's the comforts of home, right? Why didn't you just think of packing up and going home? Did that ever cross your mind?
It did, but then that wasn't an option for me because 1, I already lied that I had a job. 2, giving up and going back home wasn't an option for me because I knew I left people behind. Automatically when I got to the airport, I already knew I had responsibilities, and one of the goals for me was giving back to my parents, especially my mom that actually made sure, in as much as she wasn't, but when she came, she was there till I left. So I just wanted to give back. I wanted to be responsible and help them just make sure they live better. So going home wasn't an option.
Okay. So you're here. How long was your visa? Because you said it took 6 months to get a job. So walk me through the visa process of that.
Because when I came, I had a 3-month tourist visa,
3 months,
obviously. So when I came, I was searching for a job. During that time, nothing was coming. Got to the last few weeks of my visa expiring. I started looking for just any job. Before I used to like, okay, I want to work as a receptionist. I want to work as a waitress. But it got to a stage where, you know what, I just needed any job. So I started applying for cleaning jobs. Like any job just to give me visa to stay. I would go to Rakasema, Al Maquain, like those other states to look for a job. They will interview me, I will clean, they'll tell me I didn't get the job. In my mind, I'm like, how on earth can you fail a cleaning job? Well, over time, I'm like, you know what, maybe the job is not for me. And it got to a point where the visa expired. And I had to borrow money from friends. I went back to Nigeria because, let's not forget, when I came, I had a two-way ticket.
Right.
So I went back with the tickets to Nigeria without telling my parents. I didn't tell any of them.
So you didn't even go home?
I didn't know.
Wow.
I was just here with my friends, and I borrowed money to buy another ticket and do another visa to come back. So I became that friend where I'll call my friends in Nigeria. They don't pick my call because they call me, she wants to beg. She wants to, most of them will gossip. I don't know what she's doing in Dubai. Well, she doesn't have a job. Let her come back home. She's always begging money. And I didn't want to go home. So I came back to Dubai the second time. Most times my parents would call me, I was like, Mommy, sorry, can I call you back? I'm at work. Because it got to a stage where I was always available whenever they call me. And I realized, okay, maybe I started lying about all those. And then the other visa was still the same thing. We started searching for job, looking for other thing. This time I'm like, you know what? No matter what, I need to get something. Well, it wasn't still coming. Not until the last visa expired. And this time they told me about changing visa, like Oman, so I did that. And when I entered the other visa, the third one, which is on the 6 to 7, going to 7 months, I got a job.
Finally.
It was a miracle. I still remember my face. I took a picture of my uniform because this time I had proof to show my parents and my people back home. I was like, Mommy, I'm at work now. Can I call you back? I was always returning messages with pictures and videos because I was so proud to have something over time.
How did you find that job and what was it?
Okay, so then during the 6 months, I noticed something. I love to go out because Dubai is beautiful.
It's very beautiful.
I swear. And most times, you don't even need money to go to nice places. All you need is just to transport and you're good. So most times I always travel like from Sharjah to Dubai to take pictures. So one of the time I met a girl, she works in the marina. So every time I would always go to her workplace when she's done, we'll take pictures, I'll pose, and then I always do that. So one time she's like, Gift, come to Dubai. I almost didn't want to go, but she's like, come. I have discount with pizza.
Okay.
I said, okay. So when I got to the pizza place, she's like, oh, CTS. She got discount 50%. We ate. And then she's like, actually, they are looking for a phone operator. Can you do? I was like, babe, yes. And me, I was always dressing up. Day to Day used to be my favorite place to shop. Shout out to Una Day to Day. Because he always kept me dripping, even though things were going down. Whenever I have like 20 dirhams, 30 dirhams, I'll go buy.
It was good enough.
It was good. I have a lot of clothes that I discarded like maybe 2 years ago from Day to Day because I was always buying stuff from there. So she introduced me to HR. All 3 of them, they were seated, interviewed me. I was lying, God have mercy, because I didn't have experience. And over the 6 months, I realized most of the time, a lot of companies want experienced people. So I started lying in my CV to say I have this experience back at home, because let's not forget, before I left home, I never worked before. I never did anything. So I got there, they asked me questions, they told me, okay, tell me this. I explained. Because I knew the 6 months gave me experience, even though I wasn't practically involved, but then I've gone to series of working interviews, a lot of interviews, actual interviews. So I had experiences.
Just through that
process. So we went, and then they're like, okay, have you worked in the kitchen before? I said, yeah. And then the HR was really nice. Like, have you worked? I said, okay, can you check? They took me back to the kitchen to show me everywhere. In my mind, tell me to wash plates. I will take the job, anything. And then I got the job as a phone operator in Freedom Pizza, where I was taking orders on the phone and helping in the kitchen, doing dishes, and of course, helping with pizza making. Yeah. And when I got that job, I thought I've suffered, but then another story started, because I've always, let's not forget, I dropped out of school when I was very, very young. And also, Nigerian English barrier is always going to be there. The trace of my native language is always going to be there.
But was that an issue? Could people not understand you?
Yes. Because don't forget, my job was a phone operator, taking orders over the phone.
Right.
And I was working in the marina, and most of the customers were Westerners.
Western expats, yes.
And they would always call, where they call me, most times I want to say mushrooms, I will say mushroom. I want to say pizza, I will say pizza. Like the trace of my language was there. My Nigerian pronunciations were there. Most times they'll call, can I speak to someone who speaks English, please?
How did that make you feel?
Most times I'll go home crying. Sometimes I'll record myself going home and I'll play it over and over again because I want to learn pronunciations. So right now, all this English you see, the pronunciation, they were YouTube learned. Because over time I started learning pronouncing. I'm not saying Nigerians don't speak English. Of course they speak English, because the part of the city that I grew up in Nigeria doesn't encourage we speak broken English most of the time.
Okay.
So it was a factor for me. When I came, they speak and I don't understand. I take wrong orders all the time. And so over time I started, most times I would cry because this is my first job experience. And
after struggling for so long to get it.
And that job was like, it was a blessing because I was finally earning something. My first salary was 2.5. And that 2.5.
How did that make you feel, and what did you do with your first salary?
My first salary, I had a lot of debt that I needed to pay.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would have maybe, I think I paid my tithe, I sent some money back home, but then I had a lot of debt. I pay for my rent and all that. But over time, I started saving.
Okay.
The one thing that kept me, I'll save. Okay, I'll save this, I'll do this. And that time, I got introduced to Indian cuisines. Indian cuisines are amazing. Like the biryani, the paratha, dal.
Food's great.
And they're cheap. So yes, I'll go. People see me, they're like, hi, I'll say hello to them in Hindi because I got so used to the food. I'll go there, spend 5 dirhams and I'm full.
Right.
Literally, like, so it became a thing for me. Every time I budget like 200 dirhams for my food, transport, and I'll save the rest.
Okay.
So I did that job for over 4 years.
So you basically hacked your way into budget lifestyle in Dubai. So people think that they can't. You're living proof that you can.
Yes.
You can shop at day to day. You can eat Indian inexpensive food, and you can still save.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
How did you overcome then the challenges of your English? You mentioned YouTube.
Yes.
Share with us, what was that process like? Because there could be people here listening today who feel and are in the same place where they feel they're not very confident with their English, with their accents. How did you overcome that?
So for me, like I said, YouTube really helped, and working with a lot of people from different parts of the world, because I didn't have a choice. I think where I worked in were over 40 staffs in the kitchen, but then only one of them are actually Nigerian. So there's no broken English anywhere. It's either. But then the English, when I learned from YouTube, if I come to the store, bye, how are you? Because a lot of my colleagues, they were Indians, Pakistan, and we had the same challenges. But over time, from the customers, I always talk to them. And I became a phone operator where customers will come, can I speak to Gift? She knows my order. It got to the stage where I became one of the best customer representative. Got to a stage where I was promoted from being a phone operator to supervisor, store trainer. It was an old process, but all these started from watching videos on YouTube. I'd record myself talk and I'll play it over and over again. I'll learn pronunciations online. I'll practice with people. I'll call my family. I'll be speaking English. Gift, why are you speaking English? But then I want to practice.
Right.
So over time, it became something that I kept on doing, and the customers helped. YouTube, yes, helped. The people that I was working with, yes, helped as well. So yes.
Practice and consistency.
Yes, correct.
That's incredible.
Yes.
So you got this job at this pizza firm working as a telephone operator. You then sort of rose through the ranks. How long did you stay there for, and what happened next?
Okay. So when I was working as a phone operator, I did that for I think about 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
And 3 years after, I became a supervisor.
Okay.
Most of the people that I used to look up to them, my supervisors then became my colleague because they were like, oh, Gift. Because I was all over the place. Like, when I mean all over the place, I mean in a good way. Because I would always like, hi, I want to learn something.
Right.
I want to be involved in this. I make pizza. I was a supervisor. I was making pizza. I was jumping on the phone. Usually, most of the supervisors, they would not want to like go back to where they left. So for me, I was always actively involved in most of the things in the kitchen. So over time, it got to a stage where I'm like, I always see the drivers. God bless them. Most of the drivers, they would go for orders, come back, and then they'll be like, oh, sister, this customer give me tip today. I'm like, oh. And let's not forget, I was a supervisor with the salary because the responsibility was a lot.
Okay.
And I had a lot of things that I needed to take care of. The money was almost never enough because I want to take care of my family. I want to pay my rent here. And back then, I used to stay in a room with 8 in the room, bunk beds. Before, I was like, just yesterday, I met a friend. She came to my house. She was like, Gift, your house is amazing. I'm like, yeah. I used to stay in a bed space where 8 in the room. I couldn't even afford a down bed. I never forget to tell the story because I want to always let people know. Maybe now I can afford to do some certain things. But however, I started from somewhere. So I was like, okay, staying 8 in the room. I would always come home and then I'll cover my curtain and be inside. Whenever I want to make call, I'll go to the kitchen because I don't want my friends to see the best space I was staying at. It was a journey. So over time in Freedom Pizza, I actually started seeing them. They talk about the tips. I wanted more money, obviously. And then they're like, oh, sister, this happened, this tip, customer gave me this. I'm like, oh. So we always gossip the drivers that they earn more than the supervisors because with their tip combined, it was a lot of money.
Right.
So that's I never had any idea. And we usually have this thing, it's like a team bonding thing where at work, the CEO gathers everyone together to have like a meeting where we just talk about the growth and how things are changing. Okay. So we had this one at Rio Cinema and he was talking about, oh, we are open. If you have anyone that wants to be a female delivery, we're open to ladies. And me, because I am always jumpy.
Always willing to learn.
And then they were like, if you're here, you want to. He didn't say that for so long, but if you have people outside, I'm like, she's like, gift? I said, yes. What gift? I'm like, I don't mind being a delivery rider. Really? And then he's like, come up. So I came. He asked me, are you serious? I said, yes, I want to. And then my manager then was like, Gift, don't do drama. I was like, no, boss, I want to do it. So they gave me an NOC, prepared everything, and weeks after, I started my training. And first, when I got to the place, they're like, oh, they made me sign, of course, like it was okay because they didn't obviously have any female instructors. Yes. Only male. They made me sign. I'm like, yes, it's fine. They're like, why do you drive bike? Because some lady goes there, but just for the fun, power bikes. I'm like, I want to learn how to drive a bike because I want to work. They're like, why? So over time, it took me 6 months to get the license.
Had you ridden a bike before?
Never. Never.
Amazing.
Never. So it took me 6 months. I got the license and yeah, I started delivering, working as the first. I didn't even know I was the first. For me, it was just about the tip and meeting people as well. Because I realized most of the times, the people that meet a lot of people the most is actually delivery riders. And for me, I always love to be happy. I love to meet people and interact. So I had the saying then, just a smile that comes from a delivery rider. Sometimes I order and I might be having a very bad day. But when the person comes and smiles, even if it's a fake smile, the body understands that it was a smile.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, I want to deliver. So I started delivering, I did it. And I got the recognition as the first female delivery rider in the region, not just in Dubai, but then in the Middle East.
In the Middle East? Yes. Incredible. You guys have heard it here first. The first female delivery rider. What a record. But now tell me, did that translate financially?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Because salary increased but the increasing is still not paying the bills.
Okay. But the tips were attractive?
The tips, yeah. And I was getting a lot of people that would like, oh, how did you come? In my mind, obviously on a bike. They're like, you drive a bike? I say, yeah, I ride a bike. I get people that encourages, they tend to tip better because of course I'm a lady. And this just blew. For me, this is the reason I started what became a thing, because all thanks to the UAE, they appreciate people like us. Absolutely. They took the story. I started getting a lot of media recognition. A lot of people wanted to reckon the story back home. I was like, Gift, so she's celebrating. I was like, okay.
Amazing, amazing. Who would have thought that, for you just literally just wanting to find an avenue to make more money, which required you to take on this new skill, which meant that you had broken this barrier, you get that sort of recognition and appreciation. Yes, that is incredible. Gift, that is such a story. So you became this big celebrity. Did expectations change? What did your family think? How did that make you feel?
Wow. For me, first, how it made me feel. It made me feel so great because let's not forget, I was just a girl that came into Dubai, the UAE, with just $300, with nothing to my name, no family here. And over time, I was able to build, be this person, all thanks to the support of course, the company and then the UAE government for helping and also encouraging me and endorsing me, I would say.
Creating an enabling environment.
Yes, actually, yeah. Because it's not all country you have this opportunity to be this kind of person and just come and break. One thing, a lot of people all over the world, they're changing stories, they're doing a lot, but people don't recognize them. Before
Absolutely.
myself, I had the opportunity and I was happy. When I became the female delivery rider, let's not forget, in my country, a delivery rider is an Okada rider. It's just, I repeat, just an Okada rider. It's just a person that does. People do it all the time. And for me, I couldn't tell my family because it wasn't something that...
It wouldn't translate.
Yes, because they would be like gifts. So you went to Dubai and you're driving bike. But then over time, they started seeing my story and then I had to tell them, my mommy, see, I started showing them pictures. They're like, Gift, you did news? I was like, yeah, you're on the news. I said, yes, mommy. So I started telling them, like, this is this, I did this. So over time, when they see my news, and it got to a stage where local channels in our country, Nigeria, one of the biggest, actually, channels television, took my story, and then my parents would be at home in the evening, they'll be watching my story on the news.
Incredible.
I was so happy. And as if that was not enough, I was actually selected as one of the 75 faces of the UAE.
Amazing.
By HSBC. So that was another level to it. And being a Nigerian and being able to actually be this person that a lot of people want to reckon with.
Such a powerful representation.
Correct. And let's not forget, I had a choice. I can either be this. Maybe there were a lot of backends, there were challenges, there were people, it wasn't easy. I was in Dubai for a long time, but over time it became like a success story. Looking back now, I feel like, you know what, I want to go through that stage again to be where I am today. So yes, I appreciate the journey. My parents, they became very proud. They were always showing people, this is my daughter, she did Dubai, she's in Dubai.
Of course. What about your brother?
My brother, yes, is one of my, I would say, support system because we did everything together. So when I told him, I was very happy. He shared my pictures every day. Even right now, we can check. I am his DP.
Incredible.
Yes.
Because he truly understood the journey.
Yes, he did. Because I was always telling him, like, bro, like, Gift, come back home. He kept telling me to come back home because he doesn't want me to venture into something else. Like, there is a stereotype or there is already, people know Nigerians. I don't want to say Nigerians. Some Africans, some people, generally, they do this part, they go through this part. But however, I didn't choose that route and he was so proud. Because when I went, most of his friends would be like, Gift, what's your sister? Glory, what's your sister doing in Dubai? Dubai is always this kind of people. I don't want to say, but then this kind of people. But over time, he's like, yes, he kept sharing my pictures. Oh, this is my sister, Gift Solomon. I'm like, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Now, if you could talk to the camera and give advice to somebody who is potentially in a similar situation that you were in right in the start, come to the UAE to pursue a career, to then be able to look after their family. So similar situation that you were in, what advice would you give them?
First, I would say, don't give up. You've practically heard my story now, and then I've been in the same situation before. I wouldn't say don't give up, just don't give up, like inspiring you. No, I would say please don't give up because it can get really frustrating, really tiring. But one thing that kept me going was the fact that I didn't want to go back to where I was before. And I'm sure you left your country, you left your home for a particular reason. Always put the reason in front of you. Because even if you get a cab today, there's a destination. The joy of getting somewhere, getting to the place you're going, the destination is actually the joy. So you are there, you're here right now. It means you have a destination. So keep going. I know it can be very hard. If I can hug you right now, I would hug you. But then just imagine me hugging you right now and saying, keep going.
Thanks for that gift. And I'm sure there's somebody right there that you are actually speaking to. Tell us then, what happened after Freedom Pizza?
Yes, now I can smile. Yes. So after I got the recognition, I was working with Freedom Pizza for about 6, going to 7 years. And yes, it was great. I was happy. But in between, I forgot to add, but in between, I love to take pictures, go out. And during that period, I started, on my day off, I would always go to somewhere nice to take a picture. And sometimes I would save up to go on a trip. For 3 years, 2 years, sometimes I would save to go on one trip. So my first ever trip was actually to Georgia, and I loved it. I realized that every time I travel, I find a new part of me that I never knew existed.
Okay.
I started loving to travel, and so during that time, I started building a brand, a very fancy, nice Instagram page, because I love to go out and explore. So a lot of people will reach out to me, they'll be like, Gift, we saw you in Dubai, can you take my family around, we're coming to Dubai. So it became an hobby. On my day off, I'll always take someone around. And on this fateful day, this family came, they were going and they hugged me, they gave me money. I checked $300. I'm like, this $300 that keeps coming. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And don't forget, back then my salary was just, I think it upped to $3,000. And $300, that's almost like 1,000 plus. I'm like, it took me a while to like digest. I have $300 for free. And trust me,
that's amazing.
Free money in Dubai is not easy. It is not. Dubai will show you the way, they'll create the opportunity, but you have to get it.
Absolutely. And this was from taking a family out for...
I took them all through their stay. I would always, even when I'm at work, I'll arrange a cab to pick them. I'll book tours for them. So I'm like, okay, when they give me, I'm like, okay, great, this can actually be a business.
You're actually their unofficial tour guide?
Yes.
Wow.
So I opened an Instagram page, all thanks to social media.
Amazing. And
then I started my company. Not my company, I would say my business back then, Dubai Getaway Travels. I just named it that, Dubai Getaway Travels. I would always take pictures with them, post their pictures there. And over time, I became a tour guide. And whenever I'm not available, I'll send people, pay them, and I'll take my cut from it. So it became a business.
Absolutely incredible.
Yes. So when Freedom Pizza, I stopped working with Freedom Pizza. It wasn't because I was there, because I gave 7 years of my life to the company. At the end of the day, I had dreams. I didn't leave because the company was bad. No, I left because it was time I moved to the next phase of my life. So
and what was that?
I was traveling.
Traveling.
I love to travel. I love to explore. I love to see new places. I love the joy of trying new cuisines. And I just love the joy of being outside my comfort zone. I can keep going on and on, you know. That's what traveling does to me.
That's incredible. No, travel is great.
Yes.
So what did that form take? What did that look like? Were you working for somebody else, or did you just sort of expand your business?
Yeah, so I just stopped working, and I'm like, you know what? Before I left my HR, they were asking me, Gift, of course, our CEO was like, maybe I was going to start working for somewhere else, maybe other competitor. I was like, no, boss, I promise you, I'm not going to work for anyone else. I want to do this. So I started my business. I just started doing it full time. It wasn't easy. Before I left, I started a lot of Airbnb apartments where whenever I have clients, instead of outsourcing, I'll put them in mine. I made a lot of plans just to make sure, because I needed to make sure that I wouldn't fail.
That is incredible. Now, dial back a little bit. Don't just brush over Airbnb. We talked about travel. Now there's Airbnb. How did that come together? Yes, I think we understand the concept of Airbnb, but how did you do it? How did you translate that into an actual business?
Yeah, okay. So first, during the time of booking for clients, every time I need to get apartments and I need to go on Airbnb and then maybe booking.com or some other platforms to book apartments. And I always see how much these people make.
Right.
From like, I rent out their place for 1 week and it's a lot of money. And I imagine. So I started thinking, having ideas of like renting my own place. But yeah, it might seem illegal to rent out, but however, there's going to be a free tip, by the way. There's a way you can do Airbnb where you can have a contract with the owners, tell them your intentions, and there are some owners that actually agree and some don't agree. But if you're looking at getting into Airbnb, I would say talk to owners. If they approve, now it's a business where they're a firm where you can actually do that.
Short term. That's incredible. So that's what you ended up doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I started the travels, and I increased, of course. I started from being just a social media business. I decided to register my company back in Nigeria and also here. Started doing it full time to like bring people officially to Dubai or to different places, their destination home. And for me traveling became a job because I would always like to go to a new place to see it, understand, before I bring people there.
That's a great job.
Yeah.
But tell me, Gift, you left the comfort of a monthly income, a company that you worked with over 7 years. It was almost like family, I'd imagine. So you were able to break 2 barriers there, you know, 75 Faces of UAE, first female bike rider. How did you get the confidence to set up your own business?
It wasn't easy. I wouldn't just say or brush past it to say I had the confidence. No, I didn't. But I had one thing that kept me going was the fear of failure. Okay. I didn't want to fail. Because I didn't want to fail, I saw the need to do my best. Okay. To just keep going. And let's not forget, a salary is something that's consistent. And being an entrepreneur is just something, there are rough days, there are better days. It wasn't very easy, but because I knew that I had to take the step. Okay. The same way I decided to be the first female delivery rider, the same way I decided to move from Nigeria to Dubai. I just knew it was a new phase that no matter how much I face, I would always come up. So I started doing that. It wasn't easy, but yeah. Looking back now, I think I'll do that again.
That's incredible. And now I know that you're recognized as a travel influencer. What does that mean?
Okay. So yeah, so it's like I said, when I'm working with my company, mostly what I do, I have a team that does everything from the back end. What I do is I travel. It's a cool job, yes, but then I travel. I make most of the content, and I started building my personal brand alongside my company, because the company, yes, Dubai Getaway Travels is there. Okay. It's a company on its own that's, to be honest, I'm the brand, but then right now I feel like it's functioning without me.
Amazing.
Because everybody knows what they're doing, they're doing what they're doing, and myself, I'm able to officially promote my page as an influencer. I go to new places, review, tags, and most times I get freebies, yeah, which is great. Okay. But that's been actually amazing and beautiful.
That's amazing. Would you encourage anybody watching today to consider being a travel influencer, or maybe share some of the challenges that you faced, if at all, in the pursuit of becoming a travel influencer?
Yes, I would say it's a great job. It's a very, very beautiful job.
Where do I sign up?
But then first you have to prepare. Before I left, I had savings before I left my job, my 9 to 5, not 9 to 5, my 9 to 9 or 9 to 11, because I was working in hospitality. I made plans. I saved up for my travels because I knew there's nobody that would fund my travels, because I wasn't known. No one is going to give me free hotel or free flights. I had to save. So first thing first, you need to make sure you have money saved up to travel. Okay. Do it as something you love before it's out. For me, traveling I wasn't intending to monetize it. Okay. I was just doing it because I love to travel, but then it became something that pays me. Okay. So right now, and yeah, all thanks to In-Cruises. In-Cruises is the world's largest travelers club. I became a member and also a partner, where we are able to travel for less, travel for free, and make money while we travel. So that's actually a great opportunity for people. So if you're looking at getting into that, message me later.
Maybe give us a bit of a highlight of what it is to be part of this cruise membership thing. I mean, personally, I've never been on a cruise. I always said it's something that I want to do. Tell us a little bit about it.
Amazing. All right. I can go on and on about it because this is my job. So yes. So generally, cruises is actually like a floating hotel that takes you from one destination to the other. Okay. It's like a floating city pretty much. And unlike flying, traveling on flights, going on cruises is fun because there are amenities on board, activities to do, and a lot of other things to do.
I hear that it's really a floating city.
It's a floating city. Imagine having 3,000 to 2,000 people on one ship. Wow. And I've realized it's the fastest way to see the world. I mean, look at me. I used to be a girl that saved for 2 years to go to a country. But this year I've done 7 countries and I still have about 6 planned out.
Amazing.
So all thanks to this platform. I am traveling for free. So signing up is also very important because apart from what we do, being able to actually help people travel, see the world faster at a faster pace, because when you're traveling on cruises, you're able to cover 3 to 4 countries in 7 days. Apart from that, We also have the business part, which is the partnership part, where it works as a multi-level marketing system. It's amazing, beautiful, changing lives, and yeah, it's currently helping thousands and hundreds of people out there. Yeah.
Incredible.
So if you're an entrepreneur, look it up.
And care for travel.
Yes, yes, actually, yes.
Tell me, what does your family say now? What do your friends say now that they see where you've reached, knowing where the starting point was?
First, most of my friends from back then, they want to affiliate with me. They want to, like, tell people that we're friends. But looking back, most times I'm like, oh, you were the one that was gossiping me back then. I want to be like that, but at the end of the day, we are all humans, you know. And right now, I'm happy that I'm in a position where people want to affiliate and people want to be friends. But my family, they're proud. My mom, so I lost my mom last year, and before then, I believe she's like, she was the happiest woman on earth, because seeing how I grew, how people talk about me, when I went home, she was really happy. She was really happy, and I'm glad I was able to provide for her till the last breath she took.
Did she come and visit you in Dubai? Was she able to see what life was like here?
Unfortunately, no. That's actually one of my greatest regrets, because I was doing a lot of trips, I was traveling, and I couldn't bring her. But yeah, looking up is like, I want to bring my dad this year to Dubai, because I couldn't do that for my mom, and I regret it so much, because I could afford to do it, but I just didn't think about doing it. But right now, I intend to bring my dad this year, all thanks to In-Cruises. I'm doing that for free. But yeah, and I'm sure my mom is very proud wherever she is right now.
I'm sure she is. May so rest in peace. What would you say then to date has been your greatest life lesson?
I would say proper preparation prevents poor performance. So always prepare. I feel like most times, if we're ignorant about stuff, I had a friend that told me this, Gift. He would always say, his name is Mohammed, he would always say, Gift, always be prepared. So when you see an opportunity, you know it's an opportunity, because most times, opportunity comes, but you can acknowledge them because you don't know it's an opportunity. So when you're prepared from all angles, when you get an opportunity, you would be able to know this is an opportunity. So always be prepared.
It's very powerful. Now, despite the start that you had in the very beginning in the UAE, you still were able to sort of pursue and find your way out. Why are you still here?
Because of the nice buildings in Dubai. That's nuts. But yes, Dubai is a country that has given me, the UAE is a country, and Dubai is a state that has given me a lot. I mean, I came to the UAE as a girl, and right now I'm a woman, right? I came to the UAE when I was 22, right now I just 30 few weeks ago. So, leaving Dubai, of course, I intend to, but right now I feel like there's a lot to achieve, a lot of things to achieve in Dubai. UAE is a country that gives you opportunities, you just need to know how to take them. And right now, I'm not done yet. I still have a lot to achieve, and I want to make sure that a lot of people out there, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of young people, they can achieve more than, because I'm still a work in progress.
Right.
I'm going to come on Say Dubai maybe 2 years from now, and the story is going to be different.
Say.Africa.
Say.Africa. Say Dubai.
Dubai's definitely in your blood.
Dubai. I'm going to come to Say.Africa maybe 2 years from now, and the story is going to change, because I'm a work in progress.
Fantastic.
I still have a destination. We're just getting started. So yeah.
You heard it here, guys. She's just getting started. Tell me, however, would you encourage other Africans who are considering a move to Dubai? Would you advise them to move here?
Yes, I would.
Okay. And are you doing anything to give back to your community back home?
Yes. So right now, apart from, of course, lending my voice in every possible means or platform that I can, because I feel like that's the best thing I can actually give back. My voice, tell my story, because there are people that is going to be inspired, of course, because a lot of people out there are facing what I'm facing, what I faced before, and the story might just like, you know what, I need to pack my bag. Just maybe there's someone watching this and they're like, oh, I want to give up, I'm tired of life. But yeah, You can do it. If I did it, you can do it too. So yes, I feel like my voice, and also I founded, it's something I don't always say I found, but I just try to keep it. But yes, it's called GPS, Save a Soul Foundation.
Okay.
It's a foundation I founded, I think, 3 years ago, where we try to help people, the less privileged, and also support businesses. So yeah.
Is this foundation back in Nigeria?
Back in Nigeria.
That's
yes,
incredible.
correct.
And how do you envision the future for Africans in the UAE, and how do you think you can contribute to that vision?
All right. So well, first, I would say the future of Africans in the UAE. First, I see culture like exchange, because the UAE is a country that brings a lot of people from different walks of life, and there is no Nigeria, there's no Kenya in Africa. Africa is a continent, and if we form a force to come together, I'm 100% sure that there are ways. We're already contributing to the economy and development of the UAE.
Absolutely.
In different ways, different sectors. There are people that are breaking stereotypes. There are people that are changing. There are people that are tops in different firms and different industries. But however, if we come together as a continent, not as a country, not as an individual, we're going to be a force that the UAE would love more. They already love us as a force. They would love us more to actually reckon and do a lot. Myself, I see myself contributing in this in different ways, because I have plans, I have dreams, I still have. I want to give back to the UAE that has given me a lot, and I still intend to benefit more from the country. So definitely, I intend to create a lot of opportunities for people here, maybe people back in Africa, they can come. I don't want to, I'm still the first female delivery rider, by the way. I don't want to be the first. I don't want to be, sorry, I don't want to be the last. I want to be the first, I'm already the first, but I don't want to be the last. Okay. So there's a whole project going behind that, and yeah.
That's incredible.
Things we can do.
What can we expect to see from you in the near future?
You want me to speed out? You want me to speed? I don't want to say more. Yes. Well, anyways, yeah. Like I said, I'm currently working on a project. It's going to be it's actually very dear to my heart, and I can't wait for you guys, you two, to see. I'm not going to say now. It's a secret.
Okay. I'll be keeping a close eye.
Yeah, but I'll tell you first.
You're working on something.
Well, yes, I'm working on something, and yes, this is just going to be an advice to entrepreneurs and people out there before I leave. It's like we all need to have the 3 B's in life, which is balance, breaks, and boundaries. And I feel like as entrepreneurs, or as people generally, not just entrepreneurs, we need all that. The balance, we need it. We need to take God first. We need to make sure we have family time. We need to make sure we have support. We ask for support when we need. And breaks, yes. Team, no sleep. That is not cute.
Yes, absolutely.
Sleep, take rest, drink water. Make sure you get the breaks that you need. If you want to go out, take it. And boundaries, yes. Learn how to have boundaries. If you want to say no, it's okay to say no. If you want to say, I cannot do it, no. Don't drain yourself. Always try to replenish yourself, because when you have boundaries, it's fine to say no, I can't do it right now, because I don't want to get drained. If I'm drained, I'm not able to serve you.
And I find that us as Africans, we struggle with boundaries.
Yes.
You know, we carry all, a whole lineage behind us, and there's huge expation.
A lot of people.
But I love that. So it's balance, breaks, and boundaries.
Correct.
It's wonderful. You heard it here first. Now, guys, before we end today, I love to play games with my guests. So we're going to have some rapid fire questions. First question I have for you is, what would you say is your purpose in life?
Ooh, okay. That's tough. Fire. Well, my purpose in life, I know my purpose in life is to put a lot of smiles and faces, because I love to smile. I love to be happy. And I feel like whatever I do, before anything, of course, money comes, a lot of things comes. First, I just want people to be happy, people around me to be happy. So my purpose in life is to be great, great enough to be able to impact people in a positive way. Yeah.
Okay. And what's your definition of happiness?
My definition of happiness? My definition is my definition. I love to travel. I love family time. I love to travel. And yes, traveling with my family, friends, few good friends around, and being able to share a drink, a good time for me, and being able to afford whatever I need. That's my definition of happiness.
Now, seeing as you're in the travel space, and we've clearly been able to deduce that you love to travel, let's see how much of Africa you know.
Oh, wow!
Tell me, what are the top 5 most visited countries in Africa, on our beautiful continent?
Oh my God!
Top 5.
FYI, I actually just did my first African trip last 2 weeks. I just went to Ghana. I've never been to any African country, by the way.
Outside of
Ghana.
Nigeria.
Yeah, outside of
well,
Nigeria.
that needs to change.
Oh yes, I know. Why did you do that?
Where would you
I'll say
imagine?
Kenya.
Kenya's on the list.
Kenya. Tanzania.
Not top 5.
Not top 5. Ghana.
Yeah.
Where are those countries? Okay. Can someone help me, please? Just keep it on the comment section, please.
Think south. Extreme south.
Where could it be? Why is no one?
South Africa.
Oh, that's true. Oh, you said it literally.
Morocco. Egypt. Tunisia.
Oh my
Kenya.
God. You should have given me an hint, guys. Why don't I was trying to look at your faces.
Next
But
is,
yeah.
what is your favorite country?
Thailand.
Thailand. Tell us why.
Till date. I love it because the people are very contented. They're very happy. I don't know. The country seems to be, if you go to Bangkok, which is one of the happening cities, is like, you go there, you see everybody, they're like on their sleepers, flip-flop, they're just going around, but then deep down, they're very happy.
Okay.
And I just feel like I can relate. I went there with a bunch of clothes to enjoy, but then when I got there, I'm like, you know what? No need for the clothes. They were very happy, so I
Just
love
simplistic.
it. And the food is great. I love food.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, anybody out there who's potentially planning summer holiday, now we're in the summer, we know everybody's looking to travel right now. Any particular hacks you would advise in terms of preparing for a trip, how to plan, etc., etc.?
Yes. First, I would like to say, always plan forward. Budget for your trip, because most times we just feel like, oh, we're packing our bags, we're going. For you to have the best experience, you need to plan before time. Right now there are a lot of places you can get the best deals for hotels, and also you can go on Google. This is a secret, don't tell people. Well, please still use Dubai Getaway Travels though, but yes, you can go on Google, just type in the country you want to go to, Google search or Google search, yeah. Type in the country you want to go to. Don't put the destination, just put like your point of like exit and leave it open. Leave the dates open. You're going to see like the cheapest places to visit. I do that sometimes, and you see me buying tickets for like less than $200 or $150.
Hang on. So I go to Google.
Yes.
And I put Thailand.
Okay, that's a destination. No. First, your point of departure is going to be...
Oh, so Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai.
Okay.
So where you leave it open.
And then I click search.
Search.
Oh, then a suggested
Then
list comes up.
The prices. The prices are always...
What a hack, guys.
So you do that.
Amazing. Well, thanks for sharing that.
I know you're going to try it. If I see it.
But guys, Dubai Getaway Travels, please.
Please. We still get the best rates and the best deals in the market. But
And you get far more advice as well.
Actually, yes. And the best part is, most cases, you get to have me as your tour guide, because I still do tour guides, because at the end of the day, that's what I do. I'm the official tour guide of Dubai Getaway Travels, and who's best to help you plan your vacations. And also the funnest part is I can actually travel to escort you to tour you in a new country.
So Gift, you mentioned that you come from a fairly traditional family. I mean, Nigeria is quite traditional in that sense, right? But your path has been anything but traditional, correct? And now, you know, you're working the travel space, really traveling the world. How is this then interpreted back home, and why do you do it?
First, let me say this. I love to be independent and free. I love to be free. And coming from Africa, Nigeria precisely, it's contrary to what we believe in, because a lot of people still feel like if you're African, you need to kneel down, you need to do this, you need to be confined to your family houses or homes. But however, for me, the reverse is the case, because me loving to travel, it means I love the freedom. And when I mean freedom, I don't mean like freedom to go anywhere, roam. But yes, I have that. But however, freedom to do whatever, freedom to go into different stuff, to do whatever I want to do to make ends meet. I used to be a girl that walks in a room, I wonder if people like me. But right now, I walk into the room, I look at everybody, and I wonder if I like them. So yes.
I like that. I like that. Freedom to explore, freedom
Correct.
of expression. That's incredible. Now, I'm sure our listeners want to get in touch with you, maybe ask for advice, maybe even book you to accompany them on their next holiday. How can they find you?
Yes. So for your travel needs, let me say this properly. So if you want to go on your next vacation, you feel like you need someone, Dubai Getaway Travels has got you covered. Dubai Getaway Travels on Instagram. We've got you covered for your vacations and whatever. And if you want to contact me personally, you can check me out on IG at official Gift Solomon. Or if you want to see how I roam around the world and make money while I do that, you can contact me or check me out on GPS Escapes. Okay? Official Gift Solomon, GPS Escapes, and Dubai Getaway Travels. Dubai Getaway Travels like this because that's where it brings the money.
That's incredible. And with that, we've come to an end, Gift.
Can I not go home? I don't want to go home.
Well, I mean, once the cameras are off, I'm sure you and I will have lots to discuss.
No.
Now, for those of you who've been with us so far, I hope and I'm sure that you found value. If you're not yet subscribing, I'd urge you to click on that subscribe button.
Now, like do it now, yeah.
Absolutely. And if you found any inspiration and again, any value, please share this story with your friends, with your family, with your community. Help us to be able to reach a lot more people out there. And let us know as well, who do you want us to interview next? Thank you so much.
Say Africa.